Hello and welcome to the weather update. It's 9:30 on July the 23rd, an absolutely beautiful weekend. Though a little bit hot today, not humid, but it was a little warm. We're going to talk about the weather this weekend. First, I'm going to go over the skies. Yesterday we had a lot of, got a lot of, look at this. It's not even going to show them all. You could see, oh, all right, so you see we had a lot of cirrus around yesterday. Just showing you some of the pictures. We're going to have to do it like this because it's not displaying. But you can see yesterday we had a lot of cirrus around. Here we go. It was kind of pretty at times, though. We did have again, that beautiful cirrus in the sky with some blue sky yesterday that really looked nice. And toward the evening, it really was beautiful. And I knew we would get a nice sunset. And that's exactly what happened. Some of these pictures are from Babylon. I know this is what happens when I don't do the weather update. It's actually Southern's Lake. Not sunset yet, but again, you can see those beautiful ultracumulus clouds. This was yesterday, right? Another look at it. And another look, again, at these beautiful ultracumulus clouds that we had yesterday in the sky. It was really pretty. And then this is the sunset. Really very nice colors in the sky with that sunset that we had last night. And no haze. It was nice. Although, like I said, we didn't have the clear sky. Today, we had the clear sky. Yeah, I went to the Pines, and it was brutal. I have a short hike, a short walk that I did in the Pines at Fireman's Park in Ridge. Like a really short walk. I was there for 2 hours, and it got hot. But we did have a nice blue sky, so I had to take advantage of it, you know. Though I noticed later on in the day, we did seem to have some more clouds pop up and some haze, as you see there. And then it seemed like it got a little better toward the sunset there. There's some more cumulus around, and then there's a storm brewing there. A couple of showers, actually, that were over the Bronx and the city. But you can see here, looking at the satellite, you can see their development. But for the most part, clear skies, for the most part, across Long Island, mostly clear. Across Long Island. You can see maybe just a little bit of haze working in, but it seemed like it got hazier toward the evening, late afternoon and the evening hours. So let's go over what the weather was like on Long Island first. Let's do that. We'll take a look at islip. So 75, dew points up to 66 because we did get a sea breeze, and if you saw my posts, the sea breeze actually showed up on the radar, believe it or not. Let's go take a look at the what it was like yesterday first. We'll go rewind to yesterday, June 22nd, and you'll see here very comfortable. Yesterday, we had the dew points coming down throughout the day. Northwest breezes wasn't as hot. It was in the low 80s generally, I think. But you can see we did have more clouds around. Am I looking at islip? I am looking at islip, right? We did have some more clouds around yesterday. You'll see sometimes there was had some cirrus clouds coming in, whereas today was mostly clear, but hotter. And we had the northwest wind, and then the sea breeze developed later on in the day. But we got well into the 80s today. Toward the afternoon, it really got hot. I'm glad I got out of the Pine Barrens around like 1 o'clock because it was getting really just too much. Mid 80s, even with low dew points, I have trouble with it, especially if there's not a really strong wind. And the sea breeze, it looks like it came in at islip around 4:50, but the sea breeze didn't get going until much, much later in the day today. And then it did bring up the dew points, obviously, but it seemed like it helped. During the day, it felt like I was in the middle of New Jersey, basically, on Long Island. I guess the Pine Barrens get hot during the day. That's basically what I have to say. So let's go look at the highs for today. And you'll see, 88 at Islip, 88 at Farmingdale, 88 pretty much. So upper 80s across much of Long Island. Upper 80s also at LaGuardia there. And, of course, New Jersey, 93. Actually wound up being a little cooler in Toms River, 87, maybe by a degree. But other than that, central areas got to around 90. Let's look at the lows. Now, we did get some radiational cooling out there. 59 at West Hampton. Other than that, mid-60s. So again, the Pine Barrens cools off at night. Same thing with New Jersey. It looks like it got down to 59 in the Pine Barrens west of Toms River. Hot during the day, cools off at night because it's desert-like. Unlike where I live, where it just stays warm all night. Yeah, let's take a look at the alley. Yeah, it's still 80 in the alley right now. So yeah, So there you go. Still 80 in the alley. Though Farmingdale's got 79, so I guess we're not that far off. Let's take a look and see what the day was like at Farmingdale as well. So let's see when their sea breeze kicked in. Their sea breeze kicked in right around that 4 o'clock time frame. Yeah. We had light winds, which made it feel, like I said, hot. It wasn't humid. It was just hot. That sun was just beating down on you. You know, it's just me. It was a good summer. It was a good summer's day today. It's just, I prefer it a little cooler. That's all there is to it. So let's go to the Weather Service page here, and we'll go ahead and look at our climate statistics for today and yesterday, of course. So we'll first start looking at islip here, and you can see the high actually shows 87. Really hit 88. It was after, I believe it was 88. That's 4 degrees above normal, but the low was 67. The normal low is 68. That's a degree below normal. So somehow that gives us a mean of 77, which is only 1 degree above normal. Seems kind of weird. I think it would be a little bit. You think it would be a little more like 2 degrees above normal. I don't get that. But anyway, because we were only 1 degree below normal on the minimum. So if we were 4 degrees above normal for the high, then that should just take off and give us 3. So that's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe I'm just tired. I don't know. You can see we got plenty of rain this month again, 6.45. Let's go to the yesterday. So yesterday was 84. We're also just 1 degree above normal at islip there. We'll go to Central Park for today first, 88. We're 1 degree above normal at Central Park and islip, 87. Yeah, we already looked at islip. I'm sorry, I'm tired. Central Park, the heat just ticks. So Central Park yesterday got up to 85, and it was right around normal for Central Park. So I just want to go look at the preliminary monthly data for islip and just see how we're doing here. We are running 2.3 degrees above normal, so I'm pretty sure this July is going to wind up being quite a bit above normal. That's the way things are going right now. So let's go take a look at, and again, we don't have the MODIS satellite, but let's go take a look at our radar here, and you can see, just taking a look around, you see there's not much going on right now. There's some activity in the Great Lakes. It's actually pretty quiet. I don't see a whole lot of severe weather going on. There are a few thunderstorms around Quebec, but they've had a lot, and I mean a lot of rain in Halifax. Incredible amounts of rain in Halifax. We're going to have to go look at that because they've had these thunderstorms just training over them. And if I go to the Ventus sky, we'll rewind the radar here. First of all, I'll rewind that radar. It's still showing a little shower there on the North Shore. I'll rewind that radar. You can see that little shower that popped up right around 6 o'clock there, right around the Bronx, maybe around Portchester. They got a little shower. I don't think there was any thunder with it. But if we take this out and we go and we look at Nova Scotia, and I don't know how far we're going to be able to rewind this. If we go to, we're not going to be able to rewind. Oh, maybe we can rewind it. Let's see if we can rewind this radar to the 21st, Friday, and show you what happened in Nova Scotia. You see this heavy, heavy area of rain here. There was a lot of thunder and lightning with this, too. And it kind of just took its time. And what wound up happening was, on Friday, they got a summer's worth of rain in one day. That's right, 250 millimeters, which is like almost 10 inches of rain in one day in Nova Scotia. That's absolutely incredible. So you can see here, biblical proportions, 3 months' worth of rainfall, floods Nova Scotia. Unfortunately, 4 are missing. The aftermath of a historic rainstorm in central Nova Scotia. Evacuation order issued in Nova Scotia as dam risks breaking. Nova Scotia floods cause unimaginable damage. 4 people missing. So it's just some of the things, and I've already shared it with you. It's incredible. Heaviest rain to hit the Atlantic Canadian province of Nova Scotia in more than 50 years triggered floods, causing unimaginable damage, and 4 people are missing, including 2 children. So the storm, which started on Friday, dumped more than 25 centimeters. That's 10 inches of rain on some parts in just 24 hours, the same amount that usually lands in 3 months. The resulting floods lost array roads, weakened bridges, and swamped buildings. And there was also a number of lightning strikes to the power transmission grid, which caused 40,000 people to lose power. But you can see just another weather calamity. I mean, Canada is just dealing with it. People thought, oh, you could go to Canada and flee climate change. No, they're getting hit even worse than we are. There's nowhere you can run. There's nowhere you can hide. That's the thing. That's the scary thing about this. People trapped in their cars. Actually, at 1.80,000 people were without power due to lightning strikes on the transmission system. And again, these thunderstorms had a lot of lightning with them too, I believe, as well, and flooding, of course. So it just and wind damage because there was wind. I mean, it's like a tropical storm basically just sitting over there. It's absolutely nuts. So let's go to the weather and hazards map here, and I'm going to go to Nova Scotia right now. Let's see if we can get some rainfall numbers. Now, there's some observations actually that we're missing. I tried this yesterday, and we didn't get everything. So let's try this again. We're going to go to precipitation, and we're going to go 72 hours. I don't know if that's going to show Friday. It's not going to show Friday, unfortunately. But you can see some of these high 8.76. I mean, just incredible amounts of rain here. Really, look at this. So, again, this is just some of it here. I mean, incredible amounts of rain have fallen. I mean, in this, unfortunately, we can't go back any more than 72 hours, but just incredible. Let's see how, yeah, Newfoundland didn't get hit as hard, luckily, but I mean, that's a lot of rain. So they went from having the fires to having floods. That's what it is. You're either burning or you're flooding. You know, this is what it is when you're living in a warmer world. And quite incredible to see this. So, getting back to the weather right now. We've got that high pressure over us, but it's going to start moving offshore, giving us more of a return flow. The humidity starts increasing. And going to the Storm Prediction Center, not a whole lot going on. There's a small area, slight, marginal over the Carolinas. Day 2 also doesn't look terribly active. There's some marginal upstate into eastern Pennsylvania, and then there's some in the Midwest. But other than that, nothing too crazy as far as the storms go with that. Dawn is still Dawn is now weakened to a tropical storm, but still has winds of 60 miles an hour, which is incredible. It's moving northeast at 17 miles an hour. Maximum sustained wind 60 miles an hour. Let's look at the latest public advisory on Dawn. Dawn is a little weaker. So it says its location 45.2 north, 46.5 west, about 335 miles east-southeast of Cape Race, Newfoundland. Maximum sustained winds are 60 miles an hour still, moving northeast at northeast or 40 degrees at 17 miles an hour, which isn't terribly fast considering how high up it is. That's just another part of the jet stream. Another example that the jet stream is weakening. Minimum central pressure 996 millibars to 9.42 inches. So incredible to see this, and we're going to go, actually, we're going to take a look and see if we can get a view of Dawn. Go to our North Atlantic satellite here. We should be able to get a view of Dawn here. Yeah, it definitely is looking a lot weaker than it did yesterday, but I bet in the visible it's still impressive. Yeah, it's still impressive looking in the visible. Look at that. Look at that. That's still very impressive looking. Still very impressive looking. Unfortunately, don't have the motors. What's that? Looks like something's trying to get going over there. I don't know. Noticed a little swirl right there at the end. But yeah, this is still going. It looks like it's still heading. I mean, it's crazy to see something this far north. I mean, here's Newfoundland right here. I mean, look at this. I mean, that's nuts right there. That's absolutely nuts. And totally not normal. Let's go to the CONUS satellite view. So we'll look at the CONUS. And yeah, I see some smoke. That's what I'm trying to look for, the smoke. Starting to see some pour into the Great Lakes area. So that's what I'm kind of looking for right now is the smoke. So let's go to the Canada, northern U.S. Oh, yeah, look at all that smoke. So here's what we have to worry about now this upcoming week. Or not only is it going to get warmer, but you can see there's a whole bunch of smoke that's coming from western Canada. These fires look like they're still going in Quebec, too. I still see some smoke over there, but it's this area here of smoke that we got to watch. If you look at the hand here, you'll see it's coming down into the Great Lakes, and that could wind up affecting us eventually sometime this week. There's still quite a bit of smoke there that I'm seeing. What is that thing? It's a very intense storm, but that storm is pulling the smoke down across the country. That low pressure system there. It's an unusual spot to see one for sure, but it is definitely pulling it down. And there again, actually, we could see Dawn. We can see Dawn right here in the corner. Move this over a little bit. Be able to see Dawn. Should be able to see Dawn right there. You know, I'm going to put lightning on here. Let's see if we can get some lightning. I'm just curious if there's any lightning in that thing. Being that far north, I just want to see. We'll see in a minute here. I don't see anything yet. A little bit. Look how far north there's lightning. And this is not good. You see all this lightning over Quebec. This is not good. So, yeah, it's raining, but you have thunderstorms that are producing lightning. And then what happens is it'll get dry. And then what's going to happen is once it dries out, the little ashes in the tree that might still be smoldering might start to burn and expand from the tree and start a wildfire. So we're going to have to watch that again. Just continuing, I feel so bad for Canada, and my prayers go out to Canada. They really have been just having a very tough time of it. You know, who'd have thought that they would bear the worst of climate change? But they are. Oh, and we have fires on the West Coast, too. Let me go to that as well. Yeah, we'll do Pacific Northwest here, because we have wildfires there, too, going. Oh, my, yeah, a whole bunch. Let's see. Take a look at Oregon. This one just blew up right here. Look at that. Wow, so this is Oregon right now. So it looks like we have another big wildfire in Oregon that just popped up in addition to this one over here. And it looks like we have one in Washington as well. So it's just going to continue to add to all the smoke. And that's why it was so nice to see the blue skies today and why I went out. And it looks like there's another wildfire that popped up. I think that's Wyoming. Yep. So, I mean, it just doesn't stop. I mean, it's nuts. It really is nuts. So that's why I enjoyed the blue skies today despite the heat, because who knows when we're going to see them again as we deal with this smoke. And let's go to the models now and talk about how our week is going to set up here. So you'll see here that we have the high pressure kind of taking that ridge position. You can see some small rain chances, perhaps. Maybe a better chance later on Tuesday, maybe in Jersey. But other than that, we're kind of not dealing with too much rain here. And you can see that ridge setting up there, that southeast ridge setting up. And then high pressure tries to move in, maybe by the weekend, and maybe tries to bring us some better weather by the last weekend of July. Let's go to the European model. We will look at the 12Z European model. See how the European model looks. Probably similar. Euro is drier for Tuesday. Euro is much drier, actually. Much drier. And not really showing much in the way of rain at all until maybe we get to it Friday. And then the Euro doesn't even have that high there at all. Doesn't even show it there at all for the last weekend of July. So it's kind of interesting. All right, so we have a bit of a difference. So let's go to the upper air. I'm not going to go too much into the long range here, but we're going to look at the upper air and, just look at the jet stream and stuff. Let me take this out a little bit here, North American view here. And also look and see what they're going to do with Dawn, too. We're going to have to go to tropical. We're going to have to go here and look at the models as well on the Dawn in a minute. But let's first go to the European. And you can see there's that trough that sort of brought us a little bit of relief. And we're going to continue to sort of be on the right side of that. So that's why I think that smoke's still going to advect into the area sometime this week before the ridge really builds, and you can see whatever's left of the jet stream goes way into Canada, which is going to bring in the heat. And then the European doesn't really bring any relief at all until maybe we get toward August. Now, the GFS has a bit of a different look. It's got that trough for next weekend that could bring a cold front through, perhaps. So there's a bit of a difference in the models there. You can see the jet stream is just pretty crazy. Still, what a mess. And if we go to the upper air, height anomaly 500 MB, show you again, you're going to see that little trough come through there Friday. All right. But if we go to the European, on the 12's the European run, because we want to go a little further out, it has it a little delayed, but you see the ridge. You definitely see that ridge building in the east, and that's going to bring the heat. So that's the main issue that we're going to have. So let's go to the GFS and our temperature anomaly charts for this week ahead, and you'll also note that we have a lot of heat going on with those wildfires that burning in Canada, Alaska too, which I'm sure will join in on the wildfire activity. Also, look at how far above normal this extreme northern part of Canada is here. Fortunately, Greenland doesn't look too crazy warm. There's a couple of warm areas there, but you'll notice that your reds start popping up in the east, and that's going to mean above normal temperatures. But that front comes through and then brings below normal temperatures, and it could be quite cool for next weekend, according to this. However, again, if we flip this to the European, we'll go to the 12's the European. European is definitely worse with the heat and doesn't really bring much relief at all next weekend. It keeps us above normal. So there's definitely a difference between the two models. So let's go to the let's go to our HRRR, which we should have enough in now. And we should have enough. We have 37 frames of it. And okay, that's enough to show you what's going to happen for tomorrow. So you can see tomorrow we have more humid flow in place. Could be some showers and thunderstorms, mainly inland. Nothing really in our area. I think all the activity is going to be inland because I think we're going to have a southerly flow. So let's look at the dew points and wind flows here for tomorrow. Starting off, again, tonight we have the southwest flow. Dew points are up there. Tomorrow we go to more of a southerly flow. And the dew points, they'll be up there, probably 60s. Nothing really crazy with the dew points. I think it's not until we get to Tuesday that maybe you'll start to see the dew points get a little higher than that. But the humidity shouldn't be that as oppressive as it was last week. Temperatures tonight, we're probably going to drop back into the 60s like last night. And tomorrow, it's going to be pretty warm inland again. Let's see, mid to upper 80s showing up here, maybe near 90. Along the coast, there'll be more of a sea breeze. You can see the effect of the showers and thunderstorms inland. Some of these could be severe. We'll have to see, but it's going to mainly be inland. And then for your Tuesday, that's as far as we got on the HRRR for Tuesday. Let's go to the GFS, and we will take a look at the dew points and wind flow on that. So looking at the GFS. You'll see again tomorrow, dew points still stay manageable. It's Tuesday that we start seeing the dew points come up a little more. Still southerly flow. But Wednesday, we actually get, it looks like it's trying to show some dry air, but that's going to be more of a westerly flow, and that's what's going to heat us up. And we could be dealing with smoke on top of that as well, so it's not going to be too nice. And then Thursday, here comes the humidity. We have more of a southwesterly flow. And then for Friday, it goes more westerly ahead of this backdoor front. Friday could be the hottest day, where we get into the mid-90s, and you'll see when we get to that with that westerly flow. And we try to get this backdoor cold front through on the weekend, but the GFS seems to want to keep it stalled out. So we may have some, perhaps. I mean, it's not showing a whole lot of rain along this front, and so maybe it would just be clouds. All right. So now let's go to the temperatures. And we're going to go and back this up to tomorrow. Yeah, well, here's tomorrow. So, and then Tuesday, you start to see those 90s pop up in Jersey. And then here we are. Wednesday, I think that's when we'll see 90 on Long Island. Thursday, We're still probably going to see around 90 on Long Island, Jersey into the 90s, and then we get to share the misery with Jersey on Friday. It's honestly not showing it to be that hot, which is kind of surprising to me. It's only showing low. I think it's underestimating it. I think it's going to be worse. You get that killer west wind, you know how it is. All right. Saturday, we have a cool day because we could have some clouds around on that day. Perhaps it's indicating it's going to be that cool on Saturday. So let's go to the skies next, and we will look at the smoke too. But let's first go to the skies here. Looking at tomorrow, it's showing again some clouds, some high clouds around tomorrow. And then for Tuesday, it's got some high clouds off to the southeast and a little sandwich of clear air. For Wednesday, we could have a decent amount of sunshine. However, we may have again be dealing with that smoke. And then Thursday, it's showing some more clouds. Friday, and then this front kind of gets hung up, so we're kind of stuck in the clouds for the weekend. Though it is trying to push it far enough to the south that we might get some sunshine on Sunday. And then for the last day of the month, on Monday, it's showing sunshine again, and there may be some clouds coming in. Of course, that's a ways out. I don't like looking at that model that far out. Let's go to the RGM, our other cloud model here, which I actually prefer to use. So looking at tomorrow, you can see the high clouds kind of overspreading. There's like a little weird. In the afternoon, there might be a period of maybe some blue skies or some sunshine, perhaps, when the high clouds kind of clear out, and then you got this thunderstorm activity off to the west. Looking at your Tuesday, probably a little more in the way of sun, but there could still be some scattered clouds around. And then for Wednesday, fairly sunny, though it is showing some cloud development over New Jersey. So let's now go and look at the smoke model, and I'll come back to looking at dawn at the end of this video. Let's go to the vertically integrated smoke on the RAP and watch the smoke as it makes its way down across the Great Lakes. And let's see, here is, all right, so we're okay tomorrow. Now, this is Tuesday we're looking at. We're still okay. So whatever the case is, it seems like it wants to deflect it. Whether that's actually going to actually happen or not is another story. But it's actually going to try to deflect it just to the north. We'll have to see about that. I don't know. I think it's underestimating it. Let's go to the near surface smoke. One thing's for sure, the Great Lakes are going to be dealing with it. So here's the near surface smoke, and you can see some smoke in the Great Lakes. Look at that, all these fires just blowing up here. Whatever the case is, the flow wants to take it a little more up to Canada, but I'm a little worried about that westerly flow that we're going to try to get later in the week that may bring some of it down along with the oppressive heat. We'll have to see. It could be underestimating it. We'll have to see what happens. So it doesn't look too bad on that model. I mean, it's not as bad as it could be for sure. But there are other models we can look at here. Let's go to the HRRR model, HRRR smoke model here. And we're going to go to the 18Z. And we're going to look at the 18Z HRRR and see, because every model is different. And I feel that model might be underestimating things a little bit. So let's look at the HRRR and see if this one is any different as far as the smoke goes. I'll have to move this down just a little bit. All right, so this is the vertically integrated smoke, and you can see some thicker stuff, but it seems like it wants to keep it away from us. It does seem like it wants to keep it away from us. So I'll have to see what happens. I'm hoping it does, because I don't want to deal with that smoke again. I mean, I noticed the haze a little bit in the sky today, but it didn't seem that thick toward the evening. Yeah, I don't want to deal with that horrible smoke that we have. It's horrible. When you deal with the heat, too, on top of it, it's really, really bad. So let's go to current storms on here. And we'll look at Tropical Storm Dawn on the satellite here. There it is, right there. Looking kind of just, it's definitely starting to look a little more extra tropical. Let's go to the true color so you get a chance to see what it looks like on the true color. And you can see right there. There it is, just heading out east. And it could hit the United Kingdom in some way. So let's go look at the spaghetti models on this. Just to give you an idea, and you can see a lot of them do take it to the United Kingdom. It'll probably be weaker, and it probably will be an extra tropical storm when it gets there, or maybe not. It's going to have some tropical characteristics again. But this is out over 120 hours that it could possibly hit the United Kingdom. Um, and let's see, intensity gardens. A lot of them keep it real pretty. I mean, they keep it together, intact in some way. So the United Kingdom is going to have to definitely watch this storm for sure. We have the GFS ensembles as well, and you can see here the GFS ensembles. Have it hit the United Kingdom. So, and it actually deepens it. Look at that. The GFS ensembles take it down to 993 millibars. So, the United Kingdom is going to have to watch this storm. This could be the United Kingdom's turn for the next climate disaster. But other than that, that is going to wrap up this weather update. Have a good night, and thank you for watching.